Hi, so thank you very much for joining me and Ian and Henry of Bosch, as everybody should know.
Thank you for having us. We're very excited to be here in this beautiful camper van adorned with nice little pieces of wood.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Is this yours?
I wish. I really wish.
It's beautiful.
It feels like a sauna, just without the heat.
Yeah. There's a fire there, so we could crank that up.
Shall we go?
Yeah.
We were saying earlier on that this could make a great business. Just a line, if you had maybe 6 or 7 of these and they were just actually saunas, you drove them around festivals and rented it out for £10 for like 20 minutes.
That's a great idea. Yeah. I mean, you guys, did you camp over last night? Because you did a DJ set, didn't you?
We were here last night, yeah. So we DJ'd from, was it 10 till 12, 11 till 1?
11 till 1, yeah.
11 till 1 in the jungle.
Okay.
And then, we went back to get a good night's sleep, or try and get a good night's sleep. However, we weren't camping. I've got to admit, we were on an Airbnb of some sort. So,
Henry's brought his daughter along. So
yeah, I have a little toddler. And, we haven't introduced her to the world of camping just yet.
No, that's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
For the other campers, mostly.
Yeah.
So you talk today. What time are you going on? What's kind of topics that you're going to be discussing?
So our talk is at 7:30. We're on the main stage over there. We're actually doing it previous years, because we've been here twice at Vegan Camp Out. We've done a kind of big talk to everybody with lots of visuals on screen and just making everybody excited. This time we thought we'd have a little bit more of an interview live podcast situation. So one of our friends and our future podcast co-hosts,
fab,
Alex Booker, is going to be joining us on stage, and we'll be going through a kind of live interview podcast type situation. We'll also be bringing another friend, Kwaku, another one of our boys, on stage for the last 10 minutes or so, who will also be one of our new podcast co-hosts.
Okay, so we're kind of going into a new kind of venture and podcasting. Very good. What was the kind of idea behind that?
We've wanted to do a podcast for a long, long time, but we've basically just been too busy and never really got round to it.
Yeah.
And we've come up with lots of different ideas about podcasts. And usually podcast is a host interviewing a guest, and that's been done. So what we wanted to do is something a little bit different, and we've always wanted to bring in our boys or bring in our mates into what we do, because they're funny guys, they're very handsome. If anybody wants to watch the podcast,
Gentlemen.
Exactly. And we thought, right, this is the perfect time to do it. And if we're going to throw them in, we might as well throw them in at the deep end and launch it here at the Vegan Camp Out, which we are very proud to be a part of for the 3rd time.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I guess for them it's kind of sink or swim right in front of a crowd of several thousands.
Yeah.
And also it's a way to pull them away from their families, get them to come and have a fun night with us. So, it's dual purpose.
You get to a point in your life, don't you, when that's kind of like,
got to force fun.
12 months in advance, please.
Exactly.
Although I think we only told about 3 weeks ago, so they were quite accommodating.
Yeah, I think we're like, it's not just going to be hit the mic and go. We've kind of got the plan, so we know the questions that we think will get the answers that will resonate well with the audience. And then when it comes to the actual live podcast section, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic of conversation that will resonate with everybody in the audience again. I'm happy to tell you we're talking about ultra-processed food and the effect it's had on the plant-based movement in general. And I think that's really, really interesting.
Yeah, no, that'd be good to get your thoughts on that, because as you know, the press have gone so hard, haven't they? And especially certain brands like Beyond Meat. They've been vilified by the press, saying that UPFs are, it's worse than meat, it's terrible, veganism, it's a blip. I mean, what are your guys, what do you think about this kind of
This is good,
topic?
It's like a warm-up.
Yeah, practice on us.
I suppose the key thing is people talk about issues as being issues, but they don't quantify the issue. So somebody might say methylcellulose, that's an ingredient in, for example, a plant-based protein. Right, methylcellulose is what they would call an ultra-processed food. It's not like you want to be eating lots and lots of methylcellulose powder. That's not going to be great for your body. But the very small amount of that that's in a plant-based protein is a very, very minor impact. It has a very minor impact on your body, like percentages. And you compare that to, say, the health impact of saturated fat on your body, which is, known to cause diabetes, known to cause loads of heart issues. You compare that to people just having generally a poor diet, which is low in fiber, low in vitamins, low in all of this stuff. Like a plant-based diet with a little bit of plant-based protein, which has methylcellulose, is one of the best diets you could possibly eat. And you compare that to like the standard Western diet, which is high in saturated fat, low in fiber, high in processed carbohydrates, And the two are not the same thing. So for people to be wielding the, ultra processed tag about plant-based protein like that is the enemy, it's just wrong.
Yeah.
It's confusing, it's misleading, and it winds us up.
Absolutely.
That being said, it is a useful point of reference for people who are eating a rubbish diet to understand that the more whole foods they eat, the better.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand why we're kind of throwing it around and why it's helpful for Joe public to try and eat fewer processed foods. But I'm really frustrated at the amount the media is using that as a weapon against plant-based protein, which is an incredible invention, by the way.
It is.
We should all be grateful for.
We had some of it just now, didn't we?
We did, yes. Yeah, I had some soybeans, but they didn't taste as boring as soybeans.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against soybeans, but it was much nicer in that sandwich.
Which is a hogless roast.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Goodness.
sometimes it's like a treat, isn't it? Like, you want to, sometimes you're just like, you know what, I want some fake chicken in my curry instead of just some tofu. And it's fine. That's normal. We crave these things.
So much tofu.
Yeah.
And like even Berry, our daughter, right? She's eating so much tofu, and it's cool because it's like tofu for every meal. But you do think like I would just love it if I could phone up and have a chicken korma be delivered that had plant-based chicken in it to my house rather than having to cook it myself.
I know what you mean. Tofu is just the food of the gods.
It's great stuff. It's great stuff.
I 5 out of 7 days I'll eat tofu.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And but I would say that if anyone who doesn't know how to cook tofu and they eat meat, it's just whatever you do with chicken, you do with tofu.
Yeah.
That's it.
And tempeh, even easier, even tastier, even better for you. It's just, I mean, these things are incredible.
It's only when you get into mushrooms it gets a bit fancy and you need to finesse.
That's true. What in terms of when you're cooking the mushroom?
Yeah, just the prep. Because you can do you've got the fable mushrooms. You can do like a beef bourguignon.
They're very good, all the way coming. I think they come from New Zealand, that brand. But mushrooms, mushrooms. It's one thing we've loved as Bosch over the course of the 10 years is just seeing the way that people have got really creative with cooking vegetables. And mushrooms is just one of those vegetables where you just be like, oh, I used to just get mushrooms and a little bit of pepper and a little bit of butter in a pan, and that was it. And now you can get really, really creative and basically make things that look like chicken or pork or whatever you want them to look like. So delicious.
Must be nice for you too as well, because over the last sort of 10, 15 years, you've been kind of at the forefront of people, not completely, you're not taking credit for it all, of people changing how they cook food and things, but especially for a lot of men, a lot of guys who I know who are vegan will always cite Bosch. I mean, women too, but it's been really you played a big part in that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, we've witnessed it all change. I remember when we were writing our first cookbook, Bosch. Oh yeah, he's got it on his top. No, that one.
Should have advertised.
That one, was that yours?
Yeah. Sorry.
When we were writing that book, we were trying to make sure that all of the ingredients were accessible. So we didn't want to have esoteric, hard to find ingredients. It had to be stuff that you could find easily. So we didn't use jackfruit. You couldn't buy vegan burgers in the shops. No. You couldn't buy vegan mince in the shops. You couldn't buy vegan fish alternatives in the shops. So basically, I think everything that we did in there was, if you were making a burger, you had to take a sausage and mash it up and then reform it into a burger.
It's true.
And that was pretty much the only meat substitutes we had in that book, because they weren't available then. You also, the concept of vegan fish and chips was alien. But as previous fish and chip lovers, we had to have a fish and chip recipe in there. So, we wrote the tofu fish and chips recipe.
Delicious.
We wrote the cauliflower wings recipe so we could replicate chicken wings.
Delicious.
We wanted a chili, which that ultimate chili in there became world famous. And a lot of those have become staple recipes that everybody knows and loves and have appeared on pub menus, and Bosch mushroom Wellington became world famous as well. So it's been really meaningful that we've been able to share these favourite foods with the world and have a part in changing how everybody cooks.
I think we unintentionally wrote a whole food plant-based cookbook.
Yeah, it wasn't the plan, but it ended
it's
up
kind of that way, yeah.
Although, I mean, it did have plain flour, sugar,
okay, fair. That's true. So maybe not
butter.
totally whole food.
No.
But
There's a few things.
it's kind of food that you actually want to eat, and it was the normalisation of plant-based food. And I think because we're just two lads from Sheffield who neither of us went through culinary school, the kind of food that we like to eat is the kind of food that everybody likes to eat. And that's why I think probably it's resonated with a lot of men as well as women.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's very kind of down to earth. I mean, you've got people like Matt Pritchard who's brought up books, and it's the same sort of approach, isn't it?
Big up Matt Pritchard, by the way.
Yeah,
What a lovely guy.
Yeah, lovely.
Hopefully we'll see him later on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's the last time the last time we saw him was at Vegan Camp out 2 years ago.
2 years ago, after our DJ set. Yeah.
He stayed till the end, did he? He's got so much energy.
Well, he runs a long way, doesn't he?
He went for a run after.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's his distance? Do you know? Is he ultra?
Yeah, he does ultras. Yeah.
What's his?
I don't know.
50, 100s?
I can't tell off the top of my
You have
head.
to ask him. That's good. Yeah.
Have a look at my research.
This is a humble brag now. Going on to the ultra. Well, we've just signed up to We've just signed up to an Ironman.
Oh wow!
Like a half Ironman. It's next June in Holland, but we picked Holland because it's flat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Rather than cycling up the Alps or whatever. But I did an ultra marathon recently, and it was 50-kilometer distance. And at 41 years old, on being plant-based for 10 years, I've never felt so fit. So it's easily, like, when you do it properly, plant-based food can just like power you for whatever you want to do.
I was talking to Sam from Architects about this, and
Oh.
he was saying, because he was like, I went vegan for the animals, but he's like, there's a whole range of things that I probably don't think about or just take for granted about the kind of fitness and health side of things.
Absolutely.
And I'm the same. Like a lot of my friends, because I'm like 40 as well, and a lot of my friends who went vegetarian or vegan, and they were like, "You just got energy."
Yeah, you absolutely do.
But I don't know why that is. Like,
just the vegan food.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
I think also you end up optimizing your life, even if it's against what society dictates, and that bleeds into other areas of your life. So for me, it started with food. I'm going to not just accept what people tell me I should eat. I'm going to make my own decisions about what I see the science is telling us. So that's why I eat plant-based, for the planet and also for my health. But then it's like, well, what about exercise? Am I going to deteriorate like most 40-year-olds, or I'm going to actually read the science and think about how can I live long and healthy for my daughter? And then sleep. Oh, well, what we're going to do about sleep? Alcohol. All of these things you start to look at, and you start to say, well, I might just zig while everyone else is zagging, because I want to live long, be healthy, be vibrant, and be well. And I think people should think more independently, because the world that we're in is set up to make us unwell.
Completely.
And that's not a good thing to do for yourself and for your family.
It's profit, isn't it? It's all of the health companies and things like that.
We've obviously all heard of lifespan, but have you ever heard of healthspan?
No.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, there's a terminology that's kind of wormed its way into kind of modern culture, and we kind of live by that mantra now, where it's kind of improving your health span. It's like getting the most life out of your years rather than the years of your life. And as Henry says, I think you would really like you would like, in a perfect world, be able to walk a mile comfortably at the age of 80. I mean, that would be like running a marathon.
Well, I would go a bit further than that. I'd say that we're on the cusp of a scientific, technological healthcare revolution where it's possible we could live to 120, 130, 140 now.
Yeah.
And it's possible our kids could live forever, maybe. Might be better. But if you've got that opportunity, why would you not try and keep yourself in the best place possible? We know what a human should do to be well and to live long. It's the key challenge is just sticking to it and adherence.
Yeah, because there's so much temptation, as we've said. I mean, crack food and tasty alcohol and late nights and all the things that come with it. But actually, discipline equals freedom.
Yeah.
And when you are disciplined with your diet, with your sleep, with the way that you treat exercise, you just feel the benefits almost immediately.
But I think the beauty of it is you don't have to be you don't have to live like a monk.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just had the hogless roast out there, right? That's got sugar in it. It's applesauce. It's crackling. It's gonna have fat. So it's not like you have to adhere to some crazy, really boring life where you're just eating broccoli and quinoa and nothing else. You can have more fun, but the key thing is you're 80% of the time being quite careful, and then when you are having a cheat meal or whatever, you're still not entering into that realm of high saturated fat, all of this rubbish, and you're not treating your body like it's just, I don't know.
Let's be racist.
Yeah, it's more it can be the exception if you want to go and have too many drinks and things, and that's fine.
But plant-based is also just such a cheat code. If you're not going down the route of just chips and nachos, like you're almost by default going to be healthier than most other people.
That's true. I mean, your daughter's been brought up completely vegan, isn't she? And
yes,
and I'm guessing she's thriving.
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, I mean it's a bit of a challenge because she's in nursery and lots of the other kids in nursery aren't vegans, and we're having to have conversations with our daughter about what it means and enter into that realm. We're also trying to like limit sugar for her as well, so that she's not just having lots and lots of cake and things like that at birthday parties. So yeah, she eats a lot of tofu and she loves it.
Good, that's the best.
She's down with her broccoli.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys about BOSH meat as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah, so we came up with the idea to make a cookbook that was helpful for getting texture into people's diets, because all the books that we've ever done have tried to solve a problem. So books 1 and 2 was basically the normalization of plant-based food, and there was obviously lots of things we wanted to normalize. So you had BOSH and then Bish Bash Bosh, which was basically BOSH 2. Then we had the healthy vegan book, which was healthy food and proving that it can be healthy to eat a plant-based diet. Then Speedy, which is obvious. Then Budget, which is also obvious, and then Meat. But it couldn't just be called Texture.
Yeah.
Because texture is a bit of a boring thing. So what we wanted to do is something that grabbed people's attention, that sort of ruffled a few feathers, got a bit of PR, annoyed a few people. Because I think both the 16-year-olds wanted to have a little bit of naughtiness. So yeah, we called it a plant-based cookbook and meat. And basically what we had was 50% of the recipes showing people how to get the most texture out of vegetables, and then 50% of the recipes showing people how to cook plant-based meats or faux meat properly. Now, we wrote that when the faux meat was kind of at the peak of its powers, and there was hundreds of brands, and there was, literally billions of dollars getting pumped into this industry, and it was all interesting. So we wrote it at its peak, and by the time it came out, maybe, 12, 18 months later, the wheels were slowly starting to come off. But I'm still very proud of that book.
One of our best books is like the recipes in there are incredible. Yeah. And highly recommend people get a copy. We do have a new book coming up. Do you know about that? Yeah, okay. You've heard about this. It is it's all about the general vibe of more plants. So it's helping people learn how to get more plants into their diet. Focused on, not just aiming for plant-based eaters and vegans and vegetarians, but just generally like people who are in that flexitarian journey, wanting to get more plants into their diet. Because regardless of what people want to talk about, ultra-processed or plant-based meat, everyone is trying to get more plants into their diet. Yep. So it's a book written for them. It's packed with plants. It's packed with plant-based fiber. It's packed with like lots and lots of different colors. So you can be doing this 30 plants a week, or 5 or 10 fruit and veg a day, whatever it is you're aiming for or counting. Makes it really easy, really healthy, absolute banger of a book.
The books that we've done previously, we've never included nutritional information per recipe. This one we have done. So we've worked with a nutritionist. She's called Fiona. She's done a great job of making sure that everything is like bang on the money nutritionally. So calories are listed, the protein is listed, and then the plant points are listed too. And it's just a really nice variance. It's almost like we've gone full circle. It's almost like we've gone back to our fully plant-based roots, but it's with 10 years of recipe writing under our belts. So best one we've done, hands down.
It's such a good idea, because I mean, there was the kind of trend of people going, how do we get the protein? How do we do this? And then it's like, actually, it's the fiber, because if you eat well and you have enough of a varied diet, you generally do get the protein. That's true. It's included. We don't need as much as we're being sold, right?
No. Well, I'm not so sure about that. Yeah. Look, there are different people saying different things about protein. From what we've seen, studies we've seen, more protein is better. Yeah. We should all be aiming for more protein, because especially as you're getting a bit older, we're starting to lose a bit of muscle. The muscles and joints just start to deteriorate slowly over time, and two things are going to keep them. One is using them, whether it's resistance training or just walking, and the other one is making sure you've got adequate protein. So I think the latest studies say you should have somewhere between 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per pound of your ideal weight. So that's, for me, that's like 150 plus grams protein per day. So I know some people are saying, and there are basically two camps on this. Yeah. Some people are saying, oh, everyone gets enough protein. Some people are saying you need more protein. I think we're on the side of more protein. But it's obviously plant protein.
Yeah, of course.
I can say, because I do a lot of martial arts, and it's like
what was that?
That wasn't it, actually. Cut that as well. My sensei will kill me.
What do you do?
I did Shirinji Kempo.
What's that? Sorry.
It's really cool.
Sounds cool.
It's like kind of, it comes from Doshin So. Or
Comes from what? Sorry.
Doshin So. This guy, and it's like Chinese and Japanese.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
So is it like proper fighting? Oh yeah. Okay. So is it like for attack or is it for defense, like judo?
Self-defense.
So judo is like when you're taking somebody else's power to put them over.
Yeah.
Is it a similar sort of thing?
Yeah, but we also spar with each other too,
Okay.
and do randori and fighting. But it's quite a lot, and I was learning about muscle and bone density as you get older. That's something that you've got to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Like the calcium.
Yeah.
So that's something that we've got a woman at work, Marianne, and she did our cookbook, and she just keeps shouting, calcium. This week it's like calcium, and she'll have a different thing each week that she'll focus on.
Good.
But that's something I'm kind of like
Yeah.
paying a bit more attention to as I get older, because obviously that's how the fractures happen, isn't it?
Yeah, that can be the thing that like kills you.
Yeah.
If you fall over at the age of 70 and you crack your hip, and it can be the thing that leads to your ultimate demise.
Yeah.
I think, and like almost the most important rule is like protein and exercise. It's those two things, and that exercise being exercising all of the different muscles. So you're making sure your ankles, your knees, your hips, your biceps, your chest, your shoulders, everything's getting worked by once or twice a week. Because as you say, this stuff is going to deteriorate. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And it counts for your bones too, especially for women actually postmenopausal. So like you want to be doing impact training, so like jumping, running, that kind of thing. Really, really good for ankles and knees, because as you say, once your ankle goes, you fall over, your chance of dying goes up significantly, and everything just becomes harder.
Yeah, you can't underestimate the power of good jumping.
Yeah.
Like go to that's the first thing when I go to the gym in the morning. Like the first, I'm over the mat and I'm just jumping.
Yeah.
And you just like let your arms wobble around, and pull your shoulders back, and it's just really good. And then one-footed jumping, other-footed jumping. Then you try and get one-footed and go bang bang, and then bang bang. It's really good.
Isn't that called running?
Yeah.
I think you're describing running in slow motion.
Yeah, maybe. It's like a hop, just hopping to the left and hopping to the right.
It'd be funny to see you in the gym.
Yeah, I'm doing. I think everyone's like, "What's this guy doing?" I'm like, "Listen, I'm looking after my ankles here." Yeah.
Keeping looking at some of bone density.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of like with the Bosch brand then. It's kind of enduring, because I mean, we sound quite middle-aged right now, don't we, talking about our bone density, but when you were younger, it was kind of different kind of focus, wasn't it? And I think that's kind of probably the enduring appeal, that as we kind of mature and get older, there'll be different kind of concerns in your life or things that you're looking at that you kind of want to attack and address.
Well, this is a lifelong business for us, so we set it up because our purpose was, reduce climate change through food and improve human health and look after the animals. So we set it up for all of those reasons, and that means we're in it for the long haul. And as we get older, our life passions and desires will get older. And but I do think a lot of the younger people are thinking about health, wellness and longevity now as well. It's not just us 40-year-olds.
Yeah, mate.
So I think it's we're entering into a good time when more and more people are thinking about their health overall.
I mean, nightclubs in this country are just closing left, right, and centre, but run clubs are more popular than they have ever been.
Yeah.
And I was reading an article actually a couple of days ago about the Soho houseification of gym spaces.
Oh, wow.
So now you've got in the major sort of urban capitals like Tokyo's or New York's or LA or indeed London, you might have these like beautiful gyms popping up, which they might have been nightclubs back in the day or a really posh bar, and then people pay. In the article, it said somebody might pay £3,000 a month to be a member of this thing, but it's not a gym membership; it's like a wellness club. So you can go in there and get your pressurization chambers, like infrared saunas, full acupuncture stations. So everything you could possibly want in the world of wellness, you can have in beautiful surroundings. So it's getting very, very popular. It's almost like health and wellness is the new luxury.
Yeah.
Where people used to spend $3,000 on a handbag.
Yeah.
Now they're just sooner go and spend $3,000 on access to a posh sauna.
Yeah, I mean, back to thinking, get your blood tested and
sat in a sauna.
It's quite hot here actually.
And it's getting warm, isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay, so what have you guys kind of got coming up for the next 12 months then?
So we're really busy. We've obviously written that book that's coming out soon. We're writing another cookbook for the following year. So we're just constantly writing recipes. We continually make videos for our social media channels all day, every day. So, free recipes for everybody. So they go to bosch.tv, online or on the socials. But also we have a range of food products, and we've got more food, which is going to be coming out, which I'm very excited about. Yeah. We actually have a range of meals.
Okay.
They'll be hitting a major supermarket near you.
Okay.
In the UK, 11 different products that are launching in October.
Brilliant.
And these meals are all high protein,
Yep.
high fiber, all plants, no processed foods, low sugar, low salt, quick cooking. So it's like food that we would feed our toddlers, available to purchase in supermarkets at a reasonable price.
Brilliant. So you can kind of throw them in the freezer for those nights.
Throw them in the freezer, throw them in the fridge, get them in the oven, get them in the microwave. Also some high protein pizzas as well. So, yeah.
We've been working on them for a long time, and we're very, very proud of the range because it does. The company mission has always been to put more plants on plates and make plant-based food for everyone. So Henry's point about it being affordable is so key, and about it being in a big supermarket so everyone has access to it. And I think I'm right in saying, you can fact check this if we had Joe Rogan's Jamie here, he could fact check it. But this is the biggest launch by a plant-based brand into one supermarket in at least the last 2 years.
Wow.
So it's huge. It's the biggest thing we've ever done.
Brilliant.
Is it the biggest one ever that wasn't a supermarket brand?
Maybe.
Has anyone else ever launched 11 SKUs all at the same time into 2 different categories, into 70% of stores?
Write an article about it.
I'll fact check.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is all bollocks. We're just making this up.
Basically, there's a lot of products, and they're great, and we're really excited to give them to people. And people are eating a lot of convenient food. People just want to be able to heat and eat.
Yeah.
And we want to provide that for them. And a lot of the people who are making those kind of foods have gone bust in recent years. So we're stepping up to the plate to provide some tasty food for people. Keep them healthy.
And on the boxes, we have our new kind of company strapline is on our t-shirts.
Flavor for life.
Flavor for life, which is kind of our new kind of philosophy. Is like, because we think that both Henry and I, as founders of the business, have flavor for life.
Yeah.
It's flavor is something that we've always been kind of famous for, and that people have appreciated us for. And then obviously it's for life, so it's for the extension of your life as a consumer. But it also our promise to you that we will do this for as long as we possibly can.
And so all life on earth.
Exactly.
Brilliant. That was lovely. Well, thank you so much for chatting to me today.
You're very welcome.